Lighting good?
Nope.
Lighting good?
Nope.
Lighting good?
Nope.
Lighting good?
What do you think?
Lighting good?
No.
Lighting good?
I think we're getting there, but no.
Lighting good?
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It's harder than it looks.
You talking to me or the audience?
Shut up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mr. Birdie Productions. I am Jalon.
I'm Lance.
And we are going to be talking about lighting today. As you saw in our skit earlier, lighting is a super important role when it comes to making a movie.
It is.
Too much light makes you think Jesus Christ is coming back, and too little light is the opposite. You don't know what's going on, and it emits a little eeriness, and that's not always what you're wanting to go through. So today we're going to talk about lighting. Not too much. It's going to be basic. Yeah. We're very simple guys. You're not going to hear a lot of film jargon. It's going to be like, put a light there, shiny, dark. As simple as you can get. So if that's interesting to you, stay tuned. Scene setup. How do we set up a scene? What are some of the things that we do to try to set up our scenes when we're filming, a movie?
For us, setting up a scene, it really comes down to, like I said before, it's like knowing the layout of the land, like knowing what the room looks like, where the shadows are, where the bright spots are, and just seeing like how people look in the scene with just natural light itself. And then, yep.
Oh yeah, that's a good starting point. We always say start in the dark. Yes. Enter the room, see what lights are in the room already. Yeah. If there's an overhead light, turn that on, turn the camera on, just see what type of light you get from that. And then, you add light wherever you're trying to go. So, and you got to keep things in mind, like where the actors are going to be, where the camera's going to be. Yeah. And, things like that. But lighting is truly super, super important. And it all starts with the setup, like start in a dark room, look in those corners to see where the shadows are, and, things like that. And we will be adding a live demonstration on how we light a room. Now, this is not a how-to. This is just what we did to help us get the lighting, decently for our film Deception, which will be, debuting on our channel summer of 2026. So stay tuned if you like indie films.
First feature film,
correct. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to go through a setup of a scene. So as mentioned before, we're going to start in the dark. Obviously, you can't see anything, so we need to add some light. So we're going to start with the lights that are already here in the kitchen.
Oh, much better.
This is the main light. So as you can see, it kind of just lights up everything. And we want to more so have light back here and not necessarily all on him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the lights that we have already. So I'm going to turn that one on. And we're going to turn that off and see how that looks. All right. I like the way that looks. It's nice and moody in depth, but can't see Lance's face.
Too dark.
So we are going to move over that way. So now we need to add some light shining on him. So now using, the door right there, and a little trick is you can use like a laptop, iPad, or something to kind of give him some light on his face. So if we pretend like he's working,
it's a nice little trick.
Angle that up. He could be reading. And now I'll come here and see how I like it through the computer. And now we have ourselves a nice little scene of this guy working in the kitchen. I'm gonna just do some pans to add a little And that's it, basic. That's how we would light a scene depending on what we're going for. Nothing too crazy, nothing too, in depth, but more so just kind of give the illusion of what we're trying to show. We want to show a guy at the table late night having a, cup of coffee, doing some work at the kitchen table. We use the lights that we had in here. We use the stove light over here, the light from the iPad, and looked decent. Now, granted, that wouldn't be like the final that we would use. We would add a little bit more practicals, but when you keep it simple like that, you can get a really good look, and that's what we're going for. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is how we would essentially start and finish lighting a scene. Hope you guys enjoyed. So base lighting is pretty much as it sounds. It's base lighting, basic. What are the things that you always bring with you to light a scene? And most basic setups have a key light. A key light is your main light that usually shines on the actor while they're delivering their lines, and that's usually like the main source of light. So that one is pretty much the most important light, I guess. All lights are important. They all serve a purpose, but the key light is the one that's going to be really shining on, the actor and kind of showing where they are. And you're actually pretty good with understanding soft light versus hard light. So
yes,
I think you should definitely tell them how you differentiate when light is too harsh versus it's not enough.
Yeah, I can.
It's back to you, Jim.
Oh man. So really I think it's pretty simple. It's really just looking at the highlights basically. As you can tell when something or a person or an object's just blown out, it's just, you can't see the detail in the person or an object when you're looking through the lens. You just want to make sure the lighting it looks good. You can just see the detail in the person or the object. And I think the temperature of the light plays a big part too. It all depends on the mood that the videographer, the director.
I mean, photographers use light too.
Yes.
This is for you guys too. It's not just for cinema, but photographers use light too. Y'all get some love.
Thank you. It just depends on what the person behind the camera, what the look that they're going for.
What are some tips that you would give someone who's new to like understanding lighting, but not in a way like where we sound like we're Hollywood filmmakers?
The first thing that comes to mind is when you're going into filming a short film or first feature film, whatever it is, when you have a draft, your draft is basically the holy grail. But don't treat it as like the final product. Treat it as it is. It's a draft.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't say like don't get too stuck on the vision of the draft. The draft is just a framework for you to mold into the final product.
Yeah.
And that's I feel like that's a key point when it comes to lighting. Like, yeah, you have this vision of what your movie or your short film what you want it to look like. But once you start filming it, when you're there, everything changes. How you envision it changes in like real time. The character, the script may change. Everything's gonna change. So don't be too stuck on how the draft turned out, because it's just, like I said, it's just a draft. You're supposed to mold it into the final product. So that's my tip on lighting is work with it.
Use what you have.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up in equipment.
Yes.
Natural lighting can be just as good as a spotlight. The sun is the best source of light you can get.
Very true.
So yeah, use what you have. Don't get down on yourself because you're trying to make a movie and you're just like, all I have is like a couple of lamps. Use those lamps. Just play around with it. Use your imagination, and whatever looks good to you, go with. Don't worry about what they're doing in Hollywood. You gotta remember, here as an indie filmmaker, you're doing things out of pocket. You're doing what you could afford. They have millions of dollars. So if they wanted to get a light that can emit the sun, they can do that. For us, I don't know. It might be a little bit harder, but have fun with it. Lighting is a really important part of filmmaking, but it can be a lot of fun playing with lights. just seeing how the different looks you can get, shadows and depth and things like that. So as promised, we don't want to get too deep into it, so we're gonna leave it there. But hopefully you guys learned a little something about lighting, and yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Just film talk, what we do, what we've learned. So but before we end today, we definitely want to leave you guys with a scripture that resonated with us when talking about lighting. And this is going to come from Genesis chapter 1, verse 3 and 4. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. Just like in movies, we have light in our lives.
Yeah.
There are times where we're in dark places and we can't seem to find the light. And there are times when everything is just so properly lit and it gets dark and you don't know what to do. But as long as you put your faith in God and you truly believe that, Jesus gave his life for us, your light will always be there, and, it will find a way to shine through. You just gotta, be strong through whatever you're going through, and you will make it to the other side. So that's scripture we wanted to share with you guys. Hopefully, if you're having a bad day or just needed some words of encouragement, hopefully that does sound for you. But that's going to wrap it up for us on this episode talking about lighting. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So we will see you guys next Saturday. So we'll be posting a video every Saturday about indie filmmaking, what we're doing. If that interests you, stay tuned every Saturday for a Mr. Birdie Productions upload. But other than that, appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
For what?
Tune in.
Okay.